Blue Ocean Strategy book by authors W. Chen, Kim and Rene Mille knows everyone that if you wish to achieve success in business, you wish to beat the competition. Well, in line with professors W. Chen, Kim and Rene Mille striving to beat the competition within the market. A business may be a bad business strategy. If you are trying to enter a long-time market like a quick market within the hope of outperforming the competition, you are adopting what the authors call the red ocean strategy in today's world because of the emergence and spread of technology. Access to information. It's very easy for companies to enter the enterprise market and satisfy that market. When the market is saturated, the sole thanks to succeed is to fight for market share, which makes the market water bloody and red, hence the term red ocean strategy. If you focus instead when sailing across red oceans in search of blue waters for untapped market potential, you increase from your chances of survival and profit. Winter W. Chen, Kim and Rene studied 108 new companies in 30 different industries. 92 of those companies adopted an ocean strategy. Red Ocean aims to outperform the competition, because the remaining 16 companies adopted the Blue Ocean strategy and avoided competition within the seek for a replacement category that might dominate. When watching the collective profits of all 108 companies over several years, the 92 affiliated companies of the Red Ocean represent 39% of the entire profits, which suggests that 61% of the profits were made by only 16 companies within the Blue Ocean. The authors discovered that Blue Ocean companies continued to dominate their respective markets for 10 to 15 years after their initial launch. So how can we use the Blue Ocean strategy to make an indisputable ocean of opportunity and dominate the marketplace for quite a decade? Find this solution. Let's study how a corporation called Casella Wines used the Blue Ocean strategy to make a brand new class of wine would become the best-selling wine in Australia in US history. When Casella Wines started out to make a successful new wine product, they knew that competing with existing wine brands within the traditional way would be very difficult. They must establish their branding as over a period of several years, and that we hope to win many awards along the thanks to gain the preference of current wine drinkers, in order that they plan to take a unique approach rather than focusing only on wine drinkers like most wine companies. Have they focused on consumers of beer and cocktails within the nearby liquor markets? Others who drink wine infrequently or avoid wine altogether approach people who don't seem to be customers of coffee. They ask them some questions like why they avoided drinking wine and what specifically prevented them from drinking wine. These non-wine customers shared many of the identical reasons for avoiding wine. The primary thing they mentioned was buying wine that dreads having to settle on from an outsized style of wines, which makes wine buying a difficult second issue. Most non-alcoholic wines are unpleasant to drink, either too bitter, tough or too sweet, and eventually the wine wasn't a really pleasant drink compared to beers or cocktails. It looked super cool, distinct and elitist. So Casella proceeded to creating a wine that might appeal to the frustrations of individuals who don't drink the wine well and at the identical time are still producing wine that's considered to be of top quality. Most wine drinkers, what they came up with was a wine called Yellowtail. Non-wine drinkers, they really found it very easy to drink. It had been sweet enough to stay their tastes fresh and keep them wanting more, but not so sweet that it relates to the cheap wines. Casella created a brand new class of wines that were easy to drink and of relatively prime quality. Ultimate embrace of an oversized portion of non-wine drinkers for the new class of wine. Yellowtail with reusable value was a replacement high-quality innovative product at an incredibly good price, a price corresponding to most beers, and therefore the ability to form an innovative new product. And while the identical low retention costs is what authors call the worth of innovation and is at the center of each business in Blue Ocean to realize innovation useful and find out blue oceans of opportunity, Casella modified Crane's wines while developing Yellowtail. Reduce the surplus and build first, eliminates the aging process of their wines, and it saves money on oak barrels and storage costs. So they narrowed the inventory to simply two kinds of vino, Chardonnay and Red Shiraz, that specialize in what they'll throw out and reduce standard practices. Winemaking could reduce the value of its products while increasing the attractiveness of infrequent or absentee wine drinkers who valued something simpler after getting eliminate and reducing wine, checked out the standards they might raise, and raised the wine's freshness and drinkability, so it had been easy within the palate like beer cocktails. and at last they checked out what they might create by incorporating practices from neighboring markets like beer making. They created a replacement wine brand that was simple and somewhat adventurous like many beer labels. It only had a kangaroo picture and mentioned that the merchandise was from Australia and it wasn't It's the Age of Wine and didn't contain fancy terms emphasizing the art and science of winemaking. Then they came up with a bottle that might be wont to fill both white and wine, is that the first of its kind. This is often something the beer industry has been doing for years with the spread of beers within the market, juggling this stuff. Four arms of Casella Wine allowed to make their own wine class from the unrelenting fun of easy drinking wines. They attracted a full new group of shoppers to the wine market and a part of the market that Casella wines could dominate for snow upcoming, and since they created a category of fun drinking wine, they'd an enormous start within the competition, which makes it very difficult for competitors to steal their market share. This is often the strength of the blue ocean strategy, and there are many companies that have used the strategy to regulate their market. The ocean business example is 5 Hours of Energy, the limited energy drink you see on the counters of nearly every shop. The 5 Hours Energy created the new energy drink market from 2 bottles of Allen bottles and maintained a market share of 93% of that market segment despite competition from major competitors like Coke and Red Bull, because they created the category and made great progress in future competitors who remained up to speed eating this category today. If you're curious about finding the blue waters of your next business idea and dominating the marketplace for years to come back, start by specializing in customer frustrations outside of the present market space. Then study current products or services within the market and ask yourself 4 things: what am I able to get, eliminate, what am I able to reduce, what am I able to raise, and what I can include to form something new and attract non-repeatable or absent customers. By pulling these 4 levers, you'll gradually develop a product that challenges the established order, is creating the new product category that may dominate it. Stop that specialize in a way to beat the competition and begin specializing in the way to make the competition unfavorable. Relevance, and this was the most message I collect from Blue Ocean Strategy. It's an innovative book I feel every aspiring entrepreneur should read. Thanks for watching.